What's going on, you guys? I'm Dustin. This is Chase the Tail HD. Today it's super windy out. Really choppy water. It just was miserable fishing. So we decided we just head home for today. But what I wanted to do is make an intro for you guys. The other day we were out here, we actually did really good. And we caught some Spanish mackerel and some trout. And I wanted to do a catch, clean, and cook for you guys. I've never done one on this channel, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Remember to like and subscribe. We got some good fishing action, we've got some good cleaning tips, and we got some good recipes on the way, so stay tuned. Alright, y'all, we are in some fish now. I got something small. Couldn't get my drag set right originally. What do we got? Mackerel, y'all. We got us our first mackerel on the boat. Oh, he was barely hooked. You see that? He just flopped right off. Alright, y'all. I just love the way mackerel look. I mean, they're just a really cool fish. I think it's a mackerel. What is that? That's trout.
Got a trout?
I did get a trout.
Wait the hell out here?
Yes, sir. Look at that, y'all. First trout of the day. He's not going to be big enough to keep, I don't think. But nonetheless, we have caught a trout. Look at that. I just love the way these things look. I mean, they just look absolutely amazing. So we're going to get him unhooked and throw him back in the water. Got a little ladyfish, I think. Yep. Yep, we are in like trash fish capital right here. They are really pretty fish, but they will crap everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. It's crapping everywhere right now. So, I'll probably use him for bait, not sure yet. Stay tuned. Alright, you guys. Mackerel. That's a nice one, dude. He's fighting hard. Ah, puffer fish. I thought it was a mackerel. You know what? We're blaming this one on Cade because he called it a mackerel. Alright, let me deal with this monstrosity. Huh. That's weird. Caught a little sea bass. Oh, there he goes. Released himself. Look at that. Works for me. Fighting pretty decent. Hope it's not a puffer fish. Looking like one. Oh no, that's a trout. That's a nice trout, Cade. Yeah, look at that sucker. Oh yeah, y'all. That is a nice one. Caught this trout, and I'm hoping it's a keeper. It's looking like it's gonna make it if it'll stay still for a second there. Oh yeah, he's well over 15. That means he is going in the cooler, y'all. So might have to do a clean and cook later. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. So just stay tuned, and hopefully we'll get into something. I think it's a trout the way it's fighting. It's got a lot of head shaking going on there. Yep. Yeah, he's long, but he's gonna be way too short. Oh, look at that. Released it for me. Sweet. All right, you guys, got a trout. I think. Is that a mac? That's a mac.
Get it in.
That's a nice mac.
Can I see it real quick? Oh, never mind. Spanish mackerel.
Heck yeah.
I thought it might be a zero.
Well, nonetheless, dude, that's a freaking nice mac. He's big. Come here, you little joker. All right, y'all. These little things, for as skinny as they are, man, they are strong fish. So, glad we caught him. Finally got onto something. Maybe we'll catch some more macs. hopefully I'll enjoy catching them. I don't get to catch them all the time. So throw him in the cooler and keep fishing. Oh yeah, he's a fighter. I think it's because my bobber's screwed up. No, that's a pretty good one. Heck yeah. Might. He swallowed it. Hey, easy there. Oh yeah, y'all. We're gonna have to get the pliers to get this one out, but hopefully he's a keeper. I think he's just gonna be shy of 15, but we'll see. What's going on, you guys? So in the video you could see us catching all the fish. We caught some trout, some Spanish mackerel, some ladyfish that we used for shark bait in the previous video. But right now what I'm going to do for you guys is clean a Spanish mackerel, and I'm going to clean one of the trout. Alright, you guys, so this right here is a Spanish mackerel. So to clean this fish, what I'm going to do is what I like to do, and I see a lot of people that they don't and they skip out on, is actually come way up here and start cutting. So you'll see a lot of people that'll just cut straight down, but if you come up there and start cutting, you just get a whole lot more meat off the top of the head. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the backbone to where the blade stops, because I don't want to go into cutting on the neck side. So after that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to go very deep. I'm actually just going to take the very tip of the knife and go down the spine. Right here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and stick the knife all the way through, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue to flay it back onto the tail. Okay. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the rest of his back all the way down until I get to the other side, trying to get as much meat as possible off of this fish, because the last thing we want to do is waste good edible meat on a fish that you decided to keep from the ocean. Okay, I'm gonna have to use a little bit more force right here, because right here you're cutting through bone. I'm just gonna flay it. I just think it's easier. Right here, you're gonna have a whole lot of bone in this area, and if you don't clean a whole lot of fish and you ever wonder why you see people cutting that out, and you might be thinking they're cutting out good meat, they're actually just cutting out bone. You don't want to swallow that stuff. That stuff's can be really dangerous for you. So you want to make sure you get all that out, and that's a whole chunk right there, just bone. That's not what you want. So this is what I missed a little bit of bone right there. I'm gonna cut that out while I'm thinking about it. But this right here, and you can tell it's actually very similar to a kingfish in terms of it's really white meat. So this is actually gonna have probably more of a gamey taste than what you would get off your redfish and trout and stuff like that. And I think it has to do with just being an offshore type fish. So we're gonna throw that in there and continue to clean the rest of the fish. So we just finished cleaning the Spanish mackerel. Now what I'm fixing to do is I'm fixing to clean this speckled sea trout. The way I'm going to clean this fish is what you would call on the half shell. We're going to go ahead and jump into this fish, and just like on the Spanish mackerel, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my knife right up under this fin, and I'm actually going to cut way up here by the head. And I'm going to pull it around just like that. What I do is I just go ahead and push the blade through, because you're really not going to save that much more meat trying to skim the back part of this fish, just because it just gets too tiny, and you might lose just a tad bit of meat, but in the long run you really did get most of the meat off of it. And as you can see, I'm right on the spine. I mean, I literally rode its spine all the way down. What I'm going to do is here, I'm just going to work it. I'm just going to work it down, and I'm actually going to kind of work this point right here at an angle. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually cutting right around the ribs. So you're not actually going to be dulling your knife right there doing that part, trying to push real hard and cut through the bone. You'll actually save some time, I think, doing this. And then you're not going to have no bones in it. There won't be any accidental leaving bones and whatnot. And you're just going to come right up here and cut it off just like that. I left all the bones right there, and there's no bones right here in my fillet. So instead of filleting it off the skin, like I said, again, this is called on the half shell. So we're going to go ahead and just cut it right off the tail, like so. There we go. So just like that, leaving the scales on it, and just like that, it's going to be ready to go. As you can see, the scales and everything are still on it, and we're going to grill it up just like that. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue cleaning this fish, and what we're going to do is we're going to get back to you guys here in a little while, and we're going to cook this fish up for you guys, and I'm going to show you how I do it in the behind the scenes in the kitchen. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you later. What I'm making right now is we're going to start off with the mackerel, and that's actually going to be Spanish mackerel cakes. So I'm super excited to make it. So the first thing you're really going to want to do is you're going to want to cut your fish up into like almond-sized pieces. But first, before I do all that, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut this bloodline out of the center of it, because that's nasty and you really don't want to eat all that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that like that, cut that out, and come over here and cut this piece out. We probably need that. So that right there is your bloodline. You're not really going to want to eat none of that. So set that one to the side. And this one's already got the bloodline just about out of it, but just go ahead and trim around it real quick. Alright, so as you can see, we got the bloodline out. That's all that. It's not really good meat. You're not going to want to eat that. So now what we're going to do is cut it in pretty small pieces, about almond size. So kind of like that, right there. Lots of cutting. This knife isn't the sharpest. But we are making do today. So sometimes you just got to improvise. So we're getting all this cut up real small and tiny. So all the ingredients we're going to use today for the Spanish mackerel cakes, we're going to be, it calls for about 1 pound of mackerel. We're just, like I just said, we're improvising today. We don't have 1 pound of mackerel. We're just making do with what we got. But other than that, you're looking at about a 1/4 cup of dried onions, about 2 tablespoons of butter. You got a cup of breadcrumbs, and you've got a tablespoon of mayo, some hot sauce. You're looking at about 1 tablespoon of mustard, and you got some Worcestershire sauce, and you want to use some fine parsley, which is kind of cool because we just went and cut some out of the garden for that. You're wanting to use about a tablespoon of sea salt, a tablespoon of Creole seasoning, and you're wanting a 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil for the frying portion of doing the cakes. So this is going to take me a minute to cut these up, and then right after that, for about 1 hour, you're supposed to soak it. You're going to want to soak it up in some milk. So that's what the bowl to next to me is we're gonna throw this mackerel in there here momentarily and go ahead and soak it on up in that milk. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna get rid of that really gamey taste you get from all your mackerels. Alright, you guys, so all the fish is cut up, tiny pieces. Now what we gotta do is we're gonna have to soak it in milk for an hour. It doesn't matter what kind of milk you use. I'm using 2%. That's just what we got at the house right now. So we're just gonna pour it all over the fish, and we're just gonna sit there and push it down. Push it down in it, make sure it gets all milky, I guess. But we're just gonna let that soak for about an hour, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Alright, you guys, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this parsley into very fine pieces. It's going to take a minute because usually it's pretty hard, especially with dull knives like we got here today. We're just going to chop her on up. Just like so. They're a little bit big, but I'm going to go back over them on this side. I'm going to bunch them all back up. We're just going to start chopping again. I'm definitely not a professional chef like you see in them TV shows that just chop this stuff up super fast. So just gonna take my time so I don't cut my finger off. Do another. Alright, so now what we got is we got us a piece of garlic. What we're gonna do first, we're gonna smush it down with a knife. Good, so you get it all cracked. I'm gonna peel the skin off and just set it to the side over here. Get all that off. There we go. Just trying to get that one little piece off. Right there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cheese grater and we're just going to grate her down. Right here onto the cutting board. Alright, so I got all my ingredients here. I'm going to go ahead and throw them in this bowl over here and mix them up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to strain our milk out of the fish. So you don't need none of that and any of the stuff we're cooking. Alright, so we combined all the ingredients and now we've got the fish in here. I'm just going to mix it up because we're fixing to make like a little patty. Alright, so we just strained all the extra ingredients and seasoning out of it, so your fish isn't too soupy when you put it in the breading because we're making patties to make the cakes. So, alright, so now we're putting our ingredients in the breading and time to get my hands dirty again. So we're going to just mix all this up. It's kind of going to make the fish stick together. Thinking we might need a little bit more breading. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out here momentarily. But we're just going to get it all nice and mixed up. Alright, so this is what it's going to look like when it's all breaded up and everything. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a pinch of this bread real quick. I'm going to throw it in there and see if it's hot enough. And I see that it's sizzling in there, so I'm going to take that as it's ready to get up and go. All nice and pattied up. I'll make it look like a fish hamburger kind of thing. We're just going to set it on down in there. That's just what you want to hear, that nice light sizzle. And we're gonna go ahead and make the rest of these. Patties over. That's what you're looking for, is you're looking for this nice crisp brown look, just like a regular hamburger. So we're gonna let those cook for a little longer on there. So you just, alright, so now what we're doing is we're taking it out of the pan. You're gonna want it to look on the bottom. You're wanting to look nice and crispy on the bottom, just as it is on the top. Put it over here on our paper plate, just because it makes cleaning it up a lot easier if you use paper plates. That's just me. Also helps absorb a lot of the grease. But when you're cooking it, you're going to want the inside to look like that. You're going to want your fish to be nice and white, because this isn't sushi, so you're not going to want to eat a whole bunch of raw fish when you go to bite into it. So that right there is our Spanish mackerel cakes, and we're going to take a bite of them, see how they taste. Alright, you guys, so we got the fish cooked, and it's nice and crispy, and we made our own special sauce to go with it. We made it out of pineapple juice, some sweet relish, some mustard, put a little bit of honey in it, and I think a little bit of mayonnaise to make it. And it's really, really sweet, really tasty. It goes really good with the Spanish mackerel cakes we made. And right now we're doing the taste test, so that's perfect. That's good fish right there. Thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next time. What's going on, you guys? Thanks for watching this video. This is our first Catch, Clean, and Cook video, and I had a ton of fun making it, getting in the kitchen with you guys. Something y'all don't get to see on my channel a whole lot. So it was a lot of fun. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you hit this little circle, it'll bring you right to where you need to be. And if you click these boxes over here, bring you to some of my other videos, some really cool videos. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time.